Hello everyone, it's Mr. H199, and today I want to talk to you about an article on bounding the comics. Um, there was recently a convention for comic shop owners talking about the state of the industry, and I want to talk to you about a comic shop owner called Brian Hibbs, who gave a speech talking about how the industry is in trouble, and I've heard a lot of pros tell me that the industry is fine. I actually got freaking blocked by Gail Simone on Twitter because she tried to tell me that the industry was fun, and I told her, no, it's not, and I gave a bunch of reasons why, and then she blocked me. But yeah, he confirms for like the third time that the industry is in trouble, and he actually makes a lot of good points about what needs to change in order for the industry to survive, because a lot of people are barely scraping by, which is really sad. But yeah, I'm not going to go through the entire article because it is very long. However, I will include a link in the description so you can read it for yourself. And it's something that you really should read if you care about the industry and are dedicated to its survival. But yeah, let's go into the article. From February 21st to the 23rd, the 13th Comics Pro annual meeting took place in Charlotte, North Carolina. Comics Pro is a trade organization for direct market comic book retailers, and the annual meeting provides an opportunity for said retailers to discuss various topics from alternative distribution sources to tips on stocking and selling titles aimed at children. During a panel titled "Your Discussion," Comics Beat columnist and comics experience owner Brian Hibbs proposed a 10-point plan to help save the comic market. I will go into some of his plans, but there are some things that he says that are really important. Here's one. Honestly, publishers and creators will only do what they can get away with. I'm going to spend a bit talking about publishers' behavior in a minute, but to a person, that means to a point, we enable those behaviors. They can't and won't publish material unless we buy it. Every single order form we turn in is a vote for the future that we want, and a lot of us have been voting actively against our best interests for many years. I can't especially blame the publishers for trying to meet our demand. If you could get an extra 20% in sales by paying $500 to an artist and doing a plate change at the printer, why wouldn't you? That is with absolutely everything in the post-Heroes World direct market. We lack absolutely anyone willing to stand up and say, no, that's a little too far, to protect us against our own worst impulses. All markets need brakes and guardrails. It's true. Publishers have been trying to get away with a lot of stuff, and the retailers have just been going along with it. That really doesn't change. We have, as I see it, two major problems at the publisher level. One of content, and one of the amount of product. In terms of content, while I think that we're at the golden age of comics right now, with more amazing material being published than ever before, the base level of quality of our core periodical product in the direct market, the driver of sales and success in our market, both in the superhero universe material as well as most licensed and creator-owned titles, is at a near historical nadir. I do agree that there are a lot of great creator-owned titles out there, and I'll be making more of an effort to spotlight those titles. I'm not at all convinced that over the last 2 decades or so that even the minimum amount of effort has been put into developing editorial staff and support at the largest publishers. We know that to be a fact. Most editors are desultory at best at their skill set. Instead, publishers have been emphasizing traffic management and corporate synergy. I don't even know what that is. As the most important skills to develop. Comics are written to fill arbitrary holes in production schedules rather than to be the best stories that they can be, which is why they're losing customers. Creators are encouraged to write for page counts of pre-scheduled collections, writing for the trades, rather than crafting each individual periodical release to be satisfying in and of itself, and only allow the best material to go on to permanent format collection. That is why I love Hawkman. That is why I love DC's current Hawkman book, because every title is good as a standalone. That's what, if they did that across the board, fans would come flocking back if they haven't already been too disillusioned. There's also plainly entirely too many SKUs, don't know what that is, in the market. At the front of the process, how do we enter a world where they're offering us 12 different Spider-Man branded comics in a single 4-week period? That is insane. When exactly did we cross the Rubicon that suggested that bi-weekly or faster production was the right way to make comics? How customers actually want to purchase comics. Personally, if they switched it from bi-monthly to monthly and gave us better writing quality, I would be totally fine with that. Please listen. We are destroying and devaluing our blue chip stocks rather than drawing in the vast muggle audience to purchase our products. Publishers are treating the customers as super fans who are bottomless ATM machines. Yeah, they publish whatever they want and just assume that we'll pick it up. Quality be damned. And we can plainly see that that's not the actual case, but they keep treating it like it is. But every working retailer in this room can tell you that this doesn't match the reality of our customers. The people who want or even can afford, as the prices keep going up, this endless barrage of material clumping down the pipeline is narrowing and hollowing out month after month and is soon going to hit a number that is probably not sustainable for any of us. I still remember the days when I couldn't order less than 10 comics of anything Marvel might produce. I'm even talking star comics like Planetary and Royal Roy. Don't know what that is. If it had the Marvel logo on it, it sold. But today, at my store, there's almost a quarter of Marvel's output from month to month. I no longer have the customer's interest to even shelve a single copy. Wow. I mean, we've all know that Marvel's quality has been going down the toilet for a while now, but to hear it come out of the mouth of this guy and knowing that it's affecting his livelihood is really sad to hear. I say to you, you do not need plans or programs that are aimed at selling more comics to the same customers they really can't afford and don't want any more titles to buy. Our focus as an industry should be on making our periodical releases more attractive to more new readers and to grow our base, not simply exploit the existing one. This goes into his 10-point plan. Let's see, there are a couple things I wanted to point out. Yeah, number 3, all meat or exceeds must go away immediately. Tying one product to another is not only immoral and creates an environment of haves and haves not, but I also strongly believe it is against federal law. Yeah, saying you have to buy so much of this comic in order to get, like, say, a variant of another, it's just a really evil business practice. There needs to be a creation of a threshold of what the native sales of a base title must sell or be projected to sell that limits the numbers of variants that are allowed. I suspect the number is something like one for every 20,000 copies sold, but again, numbers from a hat. If you sell 20K or over, you could have a variant cover. 40,000 or over, you could have two, and so on. Below those numbers, you don't deserve any. And there is no universe outside of a once-in-a-lifetime event like Action Comics 1000 where any single comic should have 10 or more covers. That is the God's honest truth. I am so sick of variant covers. And there's so many for comics that don't even mean anything, that aren't even special at all. Don't even get me started on Batman 50. Let's see. 5. If that's not enough, I also think there should only be a certain percentage of a publisher's line that should be allowed to be variants. Again, as for my hat number, I suggest a possible number like 25% of their total output. I agree with that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And the last thing I want to talk about is number 10. I I call for the first 3 issues of any new series to be fully, no fee, no hoop, returnable from all publishers. This includes one-shots and miniseries. The only way I see to encourage publishers to be cautious and sure about what they put on the market and how they promote it is to make sure there is a financial incentive to do so. I think that returns are the mechanism with which to do that, where we are all sharing skin in the game. That is 100% agree, because once they sell to the stores, I mean, the publishers have already got their money. They don't really care, and I think that if shops were allowed to return product and get their money back, they would be a lot more concerned about what they're putting out, quality, how much they're putting out, that type of thing. So yeah, I definitely agree with this guy's plan. Again, I will include a link in the description so you can read it yourself. Things need to change in the industry if it's going to survive, and I really want it to, because comic books mean a lot to me. Anyway, this is Mr. E29. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.